I was in your bed, you never sat in mine, and I drew one single boundary line. It was the only thing that I said no to. It was the only issue I communicated about to you. And you wanted it so, so bad. You cried and cried and you cried and cried and said you would take your own damn life if I didn't say yes. So I said yes, cause what else am I meant to do? Because I cared so deeply about you. Am I gonna let you take your own life over something that just for one night? Well, no, I'm not gonna let that happen. So I let what you wanted happen. And I cried and I cried and I cried and I bled and I cried and I cried and I cried and bled and I cried and I cried, and then you cried and said you felt guilty, quote unquote, on the word guilty, because I never saw a single tear leave your eye. I never saw you even start to cry, and it made me feel like shit for even feeling like I couldn't do it, because I promised you that I would, because I promised you that I would, and yes, I did have to be forced into it. It was a state of coercion. It wasn't freely given consent. It wasn't enthusiastic consent, but it was consent nonetheless, and I felt so dirty. Yes, I felt so dirty. And then you acted like it never happened, and then kept making jokes about it, saying, oh, it's gonna happen again, oh, I'm gonna do this again. I didn't want you anywhere near me. I didn't want you to touch my body, because I didn't know what you were capable of. I didn't know what you would do, because when I said no to one single thing, you made it this whole big thing, and you made me do it anyway. You made me sit there with my pants around my ankles, shaking and crying and bleeding, and being the one that comforted you, and being the one that comforted you when I didn't do anything. It was all your fault the whole damn time. It was all your fault the whole damn time. It had nothing to do with me. 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 I said no from the very beginning. You should have accepted that as the answer, instead of kept on pushing. Instead of kept on pushing.